we're back again. Just the two of us. There's no Aiko today. Welcome to the Nightlife podcast. Here is Julio Zambrano, your nightlife entrepreneur, and our friend Sorimar Castillo. How are you?
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the show. Good. Finally, we got you on the show. And we are going to talk a little bit about your experience in the industry. And we are going to talk a little bit about the street team. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about the hosting part, because I know you did a little bit of that too. So Sori came into the U.S. how long ago?
About 2 years ago. 2 years and a half.
All right, 2.5 years ago, which is, pretty soon. You speak English very well. Did you learn it here or in Venezuela?
Well, I took an English course for 3 years in Venezuela, but it didn't work, so I basically learned it here.
Oh, that's very good, very good. You know how many people I've asked on this show that have lived here for the past 20, 30 years and don't want to come to the show because they say they don't speak English or they don't want to talk in the camera.
Especially when you're in Miami.
Yeah. Yes, true. That is true. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do now?
Okay, now I'm working at a bank. And I also work with an investments firm as a life insurance agent and as a financial advisor as well.
Okay, so complete opposite of what you were doing with us with the nightlife.
Completely opposite, yeah.
All right, awesome. Question: did what you learned from the nightlife help you in any way to what you do today? For what you do today, did it help in any way? Was there anything that helped you? Maybe social skill wise, maybe just talking to people, the English part of it, anything.
Well, I think that the main reason of why I'm here today is because I started doing the nightlife with you guys, because when I came here I didn't know anyone.
Right.
And when I work in the nightlife industry, it helped me to meet a lot of people and also to get related to different types of not only people but also industries, because they introduced me to their industries, to their companies. So I started learning a lot and I did a lot of networking. Okay. And I think that it helped me a lot to grow in this industry, in this new one that I'm now working with.
All right, so the main subject I wanna talk about with you is the part that you did with us, which is the street team. It's something we have not talked about on the show, and I've seen so many different places, applied in different ways, and so many different people that work the streets. That sounded weird, working the streets, and it's not like karaoke kind of thing.
Explain why.
Working the streets. So actually, tell us a little bit about what you were doing with us. What was your work with us mainly?
Okay, well, I remember that you guys were in Blue Martini on Thursdays, and a friend and we started with them, working from I think 8:30 to 11, and we were in the street.
Cheers to Oriana, by the way.
Cheers to Ori. She'll be happy.
Yeah.
Well, we were downstairs Blue Martini.
Right.
With cards. It was like a business card, but with a complimentary drink and free entrance if they show the card in the entrance in specific hours.
Right.
So from 8 to 11, if they got in with the card, they passed for free and they got a free drink as well.
Right.
So basically we have to talk to people and try to not convince them, but to let them know about the
opportunity
promo.
And the promo.
That Blue Martini was upstairs and that on Thursdays it was really, really good. So that's what we
All right, so that's basically one of the easiest and best ways to do street promotion, which is actually, because you're giving these people that are walking by, maybe some of them might be thinking of going there already, but you're still pushing them a little further into knowing, okay, you're not gonna get charged at the door if you use this, plus, I'm giving you a free drink. So there's a few things that are helping. But when you started working with us, the numbers were improved as to the amount of people that were coming into the club with the cards themselves, which we call them VIP cards actually, instead of business cards, a VIP card. So what do you think that you guys were doing that was different from anybody who was doing that before? Was it the fact that you guys are women?
We weren't
Girls?
the only ones that were doing it already with you, the street team.
At that moment, yes. What I'm saying is, before you
But
guys did it, before you guys
us?
did it, whoever was doing it before, if we had different people doing it before, the numbers when you guys came in improved.
Oh, okay.
So we're better
More
numbers.
Than before.
Yeah, right. So what I'm wondering is, what do you think you guys were doing so that this became?
Because we're
But-
women.
So I mean, I guess that definitely has a lot to do with it. Now,
I think
but that's with guys. But
the
what if
main
you got
point-
girls in too?
Yeah, but I think that not only because we were girls, but also because of the hours.
Okay.
When we started working from 8 to 11, it's a great hour because at that time, a lot of people walk. A lot
Right.
of people. So on a Thursday night around 12, 11:30, they already at home. And when we got there every Thursday, there were a lot of people walking. So I think that was a very good thing about working with you on Thursdays. The
Right.
time, it was early. Also, yeah, it's true, we are women and
Right.
it's a plus. It helps a lot. We're young and we were very friendly with all of them. I think
Right.
that's the main key.
Okay, I think the same way that we had to explain, working the streets, I think we have to explain
Oh,
friendly.
friendly? Okay, I want to explain.
Yeah, I mean, people might take it the wrong way.
By
and,
friendly, I mean that we talk to every single person we
Right.
saw on the street. We
Yeah.
didn't. We weren't ashamed or talking to anyone because they're Americans or
Right.
because
And by the
they
way,
will
this
say
was
no.
this was 2 years ago, so it was
2 years
actually
ago.
when you were starting to learn the language,
The language, and
English,
yeah,
and
I
everything.
didn't know anything
But it
about
didn't
language,
matter.
but it worked because it helped me improve my language because
Right.
I needed to communicate with them.
Right.
Because on that street, all of them only
Spoke English.
So
Right.
yeah, it was a challenge. But
Did it help to have somebody else working with you, or was it something you felt comfortable doing by yourself?
No, it helped a lot working with my friend because she was, for example, on the corner and I was on the other corner.
This is sounding
And-
very weird. Working the streets, being in the corner, and being friendly. It's not what you guys are thinking in any way, shape, or form, and I don't approve of it. But no, but to that point, a lot of people debate a lot when they're hiring a street team. They're like, okay, so this girl or this guy charges this much, and this other person charges this, the same amount. I don't think I need two people to be on the same spot doing the same job, so I rather just hire one. Every time that we've done that, unless it's a very, very, very good person doing it, the numbers go down a lot. Not only are there two people, which is better, and it's worth the expense,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the people, it's like going out. Let's say that you're going out with your friends, and you go out to a club. When you come with your friends, you feel like, okay, here we are. You feel like somebody's, backing you up. Like you feel comfortable talking to
Feel like the
anybody. Yes, exactly. At least guys, when guys go out in a group of guys, a wolf pack, as they call it, it's like they feel comfortable talking to anybody and all that kind of stuff. If a guy goes out by himself, most of the guys are shy or quiet.
And they wouldn't talk to anyone.
They don't talk to
yeah.
anybody. Like, same thing happens when you guys work in teams. It's like easier to talk to people,
Because you feel
more
motivated because the other person is doing it
Doing
as
it
well.
too,
So
right.
you don't feel ashamed.
Yeah, it's like,
of
okay,
talking
they're
to
not.
someone.
If they make fun of me, they gotta make fun of her too. That kind of thing. And to the point of working one person alone, I think when it's one person alone, you go with the guy. In that case, because and shout out to Mauricio, who did it before you guys too, who did good numbers also. With that, when it's only one person, I think it's a guy better. Just to be careful. It's one girl on her own on the street
By herself,
By
it's
herself, like you said.
different,
Number
yeah.
one, she's gonna be shy talking to the people, and I've seen it. A lot of my competition has one girl out there, and a lot of the time I see that like they hide. They don't want to be seen. They're kind of handing a flyer to the people that walk by. That, to me, that doesn't work. You got to have a conversation. If you don't talk to the people, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And most of the time, when you guys are doing these jobs, you guys make more money if there's more people coming to the club. That's why you get those visits.
Yeah,
VIP
I
cards.
remember that our first month, oh, we made like a record. We call it a record because there was a night that I think we got 91 cards.
Right.
91 cards, yeah.
Yeah. So
By
91
ourselves
people. I mean,
on the
for
first month,
those
so
of
it was
you
amazing.
who know what that means, bringing 91 people to a club is not an easy task. Sub promoters don't do those kinds of numbers usually. So street team gets a little more advantage because they're getting the people off the streets. Of course, if you're in a street, in a city like Vegas, or if you're in a city like New York, you're gonna get huge numbers. But in Miami, getting 91 people to a club that's not on South Beach is very hard. In the Brickell area, it's very, very, very
Yeah, and
difficult.
also mention it because it's very impressive.
Right.
Since we didn't speak English at all,
Right.
since it was our first month and
Right.
we didn't know how to do it, but we felt very confident talking and smiling to any single person that we saw. So
Right.
that was the key.
Right. So when somebody out there, be it a promoter or a club manager, is gonna hire a street team, things to consider probably should be thinking of having girls out there. Or you can't discriminate, but for sure consider if you got girls. How important are looks in that department? Because normally in the business we say a lot that the hostess, which you've done that job too, is our face, is our front. So when somebody arrives to a club, you want to make sure that hostess looks good, because you got to have somebody who dresses nice, who's always dressed up, can smile to
Yeah, because
the
it's the
people.
first
It's the
face
first
you
impression
see, it's
at
the
the
person
venue.
that is greeting you, and
So I remember that a GM at Blue Martini told us one time, when you guys hire the street team, remember that they are our first impression now. So that is very true. So yeah, I guess considering that, woman is for sure a positive to
Yeah.
hire. What else do you think is a good tip to give anybody who's hiring a street team?
well, I strongly suggest that you should hire at least 2 girls most of the time, because as Julio said, it's not worth it if you only hire one person. First of all, because she won't do the job,
Right.
and she won't get the results because probably she will feel bad or ashamed, or
Right.
she will feel sometimes in danger because she's by herself.
Right.
And that's not good. If you want to get results with a street team, you need to hire at least 2, and they definitely will do it.
Right. Is there a certain way that people should be dressing up when they're going to do this kind of job?
They have to be dressed up, yeah, with heels. I think that with heels is the key. That should be the uniform, heels, and
So just go out there in heels. Wear some heels, and that brings people.
Yeah, because in heels you look very, very,
Yeah, more elegant.
very elegant. Yeah, very beautiful as a woman, and everyone will look at you.
And the girl's gonna be feeling also more comfortable, even though you're
More
gonna be doing a lot of
comfortable.
walking. So make sure it's heels that you feel comfortable walking in. How many hours were you guys doing a street team usually?
We started from 8 to 11, and then
Okay.
it was from 8 to 10:30.
Right. So that's very, it depends on the area you're in. Wherever you're from. Like I said, in Vegas, street is crazy. Although most of the street promotion you get in Vegas is for the actual prostitution.
Oh,
over there,
really?
but yeah, over there is crazy. They're giving pamphlets
never been
for everything, but they're on the streets everywhere. Every club's giving wristbands. That's another thing. Now that when you've been doing this, we've been doing a lot of that, of the VIPs. But back in the day, a few decades ago, it used to be done with wristbands all the time. And there was a guy I met who's going to be on the show at some point, Gerald from France. Gerald was doing a street team, and it's one of the good stories about street. It all really depends on how far you want to take it. Gerald decided that instead of doing street himself, he was going to start hiring other people to do it.
For him.
Right. And on South Beach, what is paid for street promotion is a little higher than most places because there's a demand for it. There's so many people out there that everybody wants to grab them. You know what I mean? So they do the wristbands on South Beach, back then, but they would send 20, 30 people to do it, you know? So everybody was getting paid per wristband for whatever amount of people they were bringing, and Gerald would keep a little bit of that from everybody that was bringing wristbands. So he would start getting one club here, one club there, putting 30 guys here, 30 guys there. From that, he built so much that today he owns 3 different nightclubs. He even bought a nightclub in Las Vegas. I mean, it's a great story. I mean, he'll be on the show at some point.
And another thing that I would suggest to the people that you'd like to hire a street team is that they need to pay them based on the amount of flyers or the amount of bands that they give
up,
and not based on the hours, because there's a lot of people that make the mistake of paying the people by hour and
Right.
they don't do anything because they already know that they're gonna get
Yeah.
paid anyways, so it's not worth it. Like
Yeah, that is, for some reason, I mean, I guess it applies to any job, but in that's one of the cases where I've seen it a lot, and is that if people know they're gonna get an amount of money specific, it doesn't matter what job they do. So that's why almost everything that we do in promotion is based on productivity in the
Based
end.
on commission.
And if by any chance you work every week and every week and every week and your numbers are, like those 90 people, then it's okay for you to get offered, at least a base, a salary, so that if any day things go bad or it's a slow day, it rains, whatever,
At
you
least
still get
you're,
something. Exactly.
your base salary.
Right, exactly. But for sure, you give them a base and make sure there's something they're looking forward to, so that they know that they want to bring more people in there. And that way, you involve them also in thinking and giving you ideas of how they can improve, bringing more people to the club. As a matter of fact, I think when you guys started, we were not doing the free drink. And we added the free drink
Oh,
because,
only the free entrance.
right, it was only free entrance at first. And we added the free drink when the rest of the clubs started giving the free entrance, and we were like, okay, so what do we do to make it a little more interesting? And we added the free entrance and that complimentary first drink, and it just boom, right away. Of course, do this at hours that are off hours. Transition is what we call the 8 to 11 hours. Happy hour, that doesn't work much because you're giving very cheap drinks.
That's
And
true.
during the nightlife, the night time after 11, that's where you make most of the money, and you should have lots of flow. So definitely that should work too. All right, so what is it exactly that you're doing today, so that you can tell them a little bit about you?
Oh, well, I work at a bank and I also work as a financial advisor with an investments company. I have 6 months with my license, and I'm gonna get my Series 6 very soon, which is the investments license. And yeah, basically I'm helping people better reach, I don't know how to say, let's say it better, multiplicate their money,
Okay, multiply their money.
multiply their money, sorry.
Okay.
And I suggest them to invest their money in other options with
Besides
better
whatever
rates,
they're doing. Okay.
besides to whatever they're investing the money on right
Got
now.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I also,
Did you meet that opportunity? Like, how did that come about after you're working in the nightlife?
oh well, it's kind of weird, but one day a person that I didn't know, he wrote me an Instagram. I didn't reply, but he again texted me and he said, oh, my company is having a conference in Miami. I would like you to just look for me for a reservation at Kiki on the River.
Okay.
So I replied and I said, why don't you look it by yourself? Why you don't find out by yourself the reservation? And he explained me, oh, because I'm not from here, I'm from Houston, and I know that you're there. But
Right.
anyways, I told him about the reservation because I had a friend that knows all the people there, and I follow him on Instagram. So I saw that every time he was posting stories about the company and about how good he was doing with them, and one day he put a story that said that he was looking for people to hire and train in Miami.
Right.
So I wrote him and he recruited me. He transferred me to the team that is doing the business here in Miami, and I started working with them just because of Instagram.
Oh. What I don't get is why would somebody ask you to do a reservation at a nightclub or a restaurant?
I didn't get it too, but thank God he asked, because now I'm working
Thank God
with
for
this
social
amazing
media.
company.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm glad to see that that you're growing for sure. We are very glad to be part of that history, because for sure we saw when you arrived how you wanted to strive, and that's also something important. Anyone that's getting into this, there is no position in any business that is too small or that is not too good for anybody. You know what I mean? Like, and
correct.
everybody starts somewhere. I mean, I've mopped floors at a Pizza Hut. So I know for a fact that you got to start from the bottom and grow for sure. So I'm very glad to see you growing. I love the fact that you are speaking the language, and you're in front of a camera and a microphone. So that's even, kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
And best best wishes with that new business. And I hope everybody learned a little bit from, Sori and her experience
Julio as
in
well.
the street teams and the streets of Miami. So, all right, what are your hashtags? Your hashtags, your handles, in Instagram, so people can follow you and make reservations through.
My Instagram is Castillo Sori with Y, Sory, like sorry but one R. I have to say it like that because people don't understand.
Right.
It's like sorry but with one R. Castillo
Sorry but not sorry.
on Instagram.
Okay, and you find me at the Nightlife Entrepreneur on Instagram. You find our podcast on nightlifepodcast.com. You can find all the episodes there, and we'll see you next week.